Give me a second. I don't know off by heart. I'm not going to pretend like I do. Yeah, you have all the skills and abilities you need to be successful. So again, it's usually a good card. Um, are you a follower? Hi, nice to meet you too. You do have to be a follower. I am going to be closing the queue in probably it's 4:44 p.m. by the way. I will be closing the queue in probably about 10 minutes so I can make sure I meet my cutoff. I'm very in tune with my guides, although they have a broken record because I don't listen. I feel that um, they will be like that, so does make sense that maybe they're just like, hey, like we understand. We got the Ace of Pentacles, and I actually like this for you because this has given me that glimmer of something to distract yourself or something that maybe you're wanting to start. I'm feeling though there's hesitation here. There's my heart, as soon as I said there's something that you want to focus on, it's like my heart went, I do, but I don't. Oh, I don't know what that is though, because is it something that you're holding back on here that you don't want to allow yourself? Is there something that you're like, it has to be perfect for me to do it? Because it feels almost as if I'm getting gassy from this actually. Oh my God. Hold on, I'm just gonna. Yep, there it is. Get out. I'm feeling, yeah, this is all about your perspective on that something that you're wanting to work on. And maybe something that you've been wanting to distract yourself on. So it could be a project, it could be you are a dragon. So I think for you, you need to also work on this project. And when I'm saying project, it could be anything. It could be just arts and crafts or gaming, whatever it is, whatever you were like, I really want to do this, but something's holding you back, whether that's perfection, whether that's maybe it was something that you did do with your ex and you're like, it was their thing, but maybe it was introduced to you because it will eventually become your thing. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, I love communicating. Everyone has, you know, medium abilities, psychic abilities is about tapping into it. So you could be tapping into it more. You're going to understand it more, I'm getting told. But don't hesitate. Don't think you're going to be perfect the first time. We all have our strong points. For me, clairaudience was always my strong point, and claircognizance, without realizing claircognizance was actually my strongest. I didn't even know. My claircognizance was so strong, I used to do it naturally. Even before I started getting into the spiritual stuff, I used to be like telling people things like as if it will happen. Like I was so certain of it. And I didn't understand at the time that it was my claircognizance coming in going like this is going to happen, because I was getting in touch with that side of me. Same with the clairaudience. Like I've had past loved ones who've moved on to the other side come and say goodbye to me when I was in my sleep and stuff like that, or I'd have a song and I'd be like, so weird, this song's coming in, and I'll be like, why? And didn't understand why. I used to just call them earworms and stuff. Now I understand. It was my guides giving me messages where I can, and now I can hear voices as if they're really there. One of the most prominent ones is Archangel Michael for me. Yep, I understand that. So that is mediumship proof. So, best thing I've learned recently, and I mean this recently, is because we have, I think, over 180 chakras, because that's why with Reiki, um, it's it's not a main chakra because we got our main chakras, which is the 7 chakras. We've got all chakras all throughout our body. But I found when you activate more of them, so I was in a meditation where it was activating from the bottoms of my feet to right up to the top of my head, and I was activating all of them, including the ones in my hands, elbows, knees, all that. And I found I was so in tuned with the message, and um, I was able to bring in this old lady, and I was able to see very clearly. And I'm not usually someone who can see very clearly, by the way, with my third eye. It's one that I definitely need to strengthen a lot. But when I can see clear, I was able to see that she was wearing like this pink blazer or cardigan. She had white curly hair. She looked like she was 80 years old. And she was telling me that she was a grandmother, that she enjoyed being someone who was able to make things for a person. So she told me she liked knitting and crocheting, but she told me she liked crocheting more than knitting. And I was able to give that message to the person based on that information I gave. Because I gave them all that, and they're like, oh my God, that was my ex's grandmother. Yeah, that claircognizance sometimes gets you. You're like, "Whew." Um, the it's funny when it kicks in for me because I work in an industry where I take calls for a living. It's a funny story because I used to be terrified of phones because trauma. My mum choked me when I was a child when I was on the phone, and I didn't like taking phone calls after that. Um, taking or being on the phone, it gave me big anxiety. I now work in a call center, but I find with my now call center job, I'm able to sometimes tap into that claircognizance without realizing it. And I'll bring up something and they're like, oh my God, yes. And I'm like, oh shoot, Lizzie, bad. Turn that off. And yes, they pretty much should always be open and willing, but when I'm in that work environment, I try to have them off because it's very draining as well. So I try to have that. It's okay. I'm fine. By the way, I'm completely fine. That's why I don't talk to her. Well, I don't talk to my biological mum. I have my virtual mum who's my mum by choice. Okay. We've got this Five of Cups, and I do agree. I think it was Mystical Moonlit who mentioned it, that the so much for my happy ending really fitting this card. And I believe it was just kind of opening up. This is where we're currently are. And I'm feeling it's a defeat in a couple areas of your life. It's not just love. It's almost as if you're feeling big picture, everything's kind of falling or letting down, but it's also trusting the process. So tends to be we hit a low before we hit a high. And before things get good, we also need to have things come back. So usually when we have some sort of breakthrough or something good is coming in, we also need to make sure that there's room for it. So it's shedding whatever needs to be shed. So that could be ego, that could be people, that could be jobs, that could be hobbies, whatever it is. But I mean, whatever it is, you need to trust that process as well. You also need to allow yourself to let go of something here as well, because there is something I'm feeling that you're holding on to. I don't think it's your ex, by the way. I think it's something else. I feel that it's something else that you're holding on to. It could be something physical, or it could be something like a memory or something that you need to like acknowledge it's there, accept it, and move on. Because we can look into the past easily. We can look back at it, go, that was a really awesome time. We come back into the present. It's when we start keep going back into the past, and that's where that depression and those low vibrational states come in. Because the more we go into the past, the more likely we are going to stay in the past and get into those depressions. I am feeling you need to let go of something so bad, though. So, so bad. Now, I hope you don't mind. I'm really feeling drawn to the Jesus card. You don't have to see it as Jesus. You can see it as a message from the universe or message from your guides. This is your final message. I just the 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 deck lit up, so I'm like, I'm gonna pick you then. So, reason why I'm saying that, because some people don't like the I guess Jesus and angels, so that's fine. That's your choice. Okay. There's the final message for Death Disruptor here. Honestly, as someone who worked with their shadow quite a lot. There was so much I didn't realize. I'm like digging a little hole, and then it gets deeper, so I keep digging, and then it gets deeper, and I'm like, oh my god, how deep is this shadow? There's layers, but I don't think it's always seeing that. I don't know if this is something you've looked into. It's something I do a lot as well. So with my shadow work, I kind of do a bit of a different thing to how some people do. Some people will see it as like, okay, I see a picture of something or I feel an emotion. Let's dive into that. For me, I tap into a time where I didn't feel safe. And I am actually visualizing as if I'm watching it from an outside perspective what happened. And I can see it very clearly. This is probably one of the only times I can see very, very clearly, very vividly. And I can see myself crying, or I can see myself angry or upset. I just touch my little self, my younger self, on the shoulder, and fill it with love. Fill myself with love and fill myself with that reassurance that everything will be okay. I like that, Mavis. Ask and it shall be given.